Hey guys, and welcome back to Pixel Cherry Ninja channel. Got a very interesting video for you today. So I had the pleasure of catching up with JOTEGO this morning, and I was like, hey man, what's going on? Let's talk. And well, we spoke a little bit, and he ran me through some of his plans, what's going on, and what to kind of expect coming up from JT and his team. Now remember guys, these are just rough guidelines. Things are always subject to change. Sometimes unforeseen circumstances arise or new issues kind of present themselves that need to be tackled. So what we're looking at here, we are looking at Golfing Greats. This is going to be the next release from JOTEGO and his team. It's a golf game. It's a Konami Golf game, and as you can see, it's not quite perfect yet. So this is an alpha build, and I convinced JOTEGO. I was like, let me show it to the people. Let's show them like the process, where we are, like, and then where we finally get to when we have a fully fledged core. So the background is a mess because this game needs to access the SD-RAM up to 8 times more often than a regular game. If the system is implemented without this in mind, the background gets all messed up. The team is currently working on a buffering scheme that will fix this issue. The sound in the core is correct, but it had been severely broken in MAME until now. The MAME driver incorrectly handled the sound, wiring it up like other Konami games when it's actually different. The issue was that it used a feature on a Konami chip that had never been implemented in MAME. JOTEGO found the schematics, double-checked them on a real PCB, and submitted a fix to MAME. And just to kind of point out, guys, this work that JOTEGO does, not only do we get FPGA cores, but it also benefits software emulation such as MAME. So naturally, stuff gets fed back into it. So the way the game tracks the ball's position, like whether it goes into a hole, is handled by a clever hardware trick that MAME doesn't support yet. We will see this implemented in the FPGA core first. JOTEGO won't fix this in MAME directly because it's complicated, but he will inform the MAME team about what needs to be done. This means the game will be playable on FPGA first and then eventually on MAME. And again, just the wholesomeness of all this work. JOTEGO does this work, also uses MAME to do some of his work, and then vice versa feeds back into MAME. And overall, it just makes retro gaming or emulation, whether it's hardware emulation, software emulation, hardware simulation, I've heard it all different ways. Honestly, I don't care what you call it. I just love FPGA gaming. But it's so wholesome that everyone helps each other out, and it's great to see work done on FPGA cores actually supporting MAME. So the pseudo 3D chip is used in Blazing Tornado, Dragon Ball Z2 F1 Grand Prix, Gaia-Polis, Lethal Crash Race, Monster Maulers, Premier Soccer Run and Gun, which is a game that's upcoming, and Super Slam. So guys, this is how this game looks. We can see these are the graphics, and guys, this gives us an appreciation. But guys, definitely stick around because we're going to talk about fixes to Outrun, CPS2. We're going to talk about CPS3, Run and Gun, and potentially some other stuff as well. But I hope you guys can appreciate the work that goes into developing these cores, new techniques that need to be found, and new hardware that needs to be implemented. JOTEGO and his team work amazingly hard to bring us all this awesomeness. And Golfing Greats, even though I was playing it here, well, now it's the game over screen, but right at the beginning, I was actually playing here. I could feel that once I can actually see it properly, I might actually be able to relax down and play this because golfing games are relaxing. So now let's talk about what exactly is happening with the team and kind of like what the plans are. So the team is back at full speed after taking some holidays in July. They've also brought on 2 extra full-time people for the month to help out. So in the month of August, we've got 2 extra helping hands, and hopefully this will take care of a lot of pending tasks and a lot of issues that need to be resolved. So the short-term plan is that the assistant will focus on Neo-Geo Pocket work while he will handle the progression towards CPS3, he being JOTEGO. This will start with Golfing Greats. Right, so Golfing Greats needs to be done. That's the next release we'll get. Then Run and Gun. So after Run and Gun, it will be CPS3. That will be JOTEGO focus himself while team members are working on other stuff. Neo-Geo Pocket will likely have several updates as there is more than one thing to tweak. The core will be updated each time more games or features are working, and I think that's a welcome addition. So many people really want this core. I know it runs on a MiSTer and the Analogue Pocket. I kind of like it on the Analogue Pocket because the Neo-Geo Pocket is a handheld, and I want to play it on a handheld, but every time new games are working, I'm sure people will welcome the core updates, especially when it's a game in particular that they want working. So Golfing Greats and Run and Gun are scheduled for release in August, so we should be getting two great sporting games in August, Golfing Greats and Run and Gun. Let me know which one you're more excited about. I kind of have to say that I think I'm more looking forward to Golfing Greats because I kind of find the golf games show, and I've never really been into basketball apart from NBA Jam. I know I say that every time, and I'm waiting to play it. I haven't tried it on emulation yet. I'll try the FPGA core when it comes out, and I guess I'll make up my mind. And here's the really cool news: a beta for CPS3 is expected to take several weeks. So it's kind of likely it's going to release in October. Just want to point out, guys, these times could change. Maybe like there'll be some kind of eureka moment and it will come out sooner, but more likely, one thing I know about retro and FPGA gaming, things get delayed. So it's also possible it can get delayed. Everything I'm telling you is based on a conversation I had with JOTEGO this morning, and I wanted to bring you this video, and I wanted to show you exactly the state of the game that we like to call Golfing Greats. Well, now we're looking at CPS3, and this is actually a Fightcade replay. So one of the team members is helping with framework development. He's preparing an automatic test for all cores that will catch issues whenever changes are made for a new core. This will improve the user experience and free up team time by reducing the need to manually test and fix other issues, right? So that's a good thing. And one of the new hires will focus on tackling an easy but time-consuming issue, or some of the easier and more time-consuming issues. For example, that team member will work on the Analogue Pocket issue with Outrun, for which they are getting some Pocket units on loan to properly characterize the problem. And that's the issue. There's different revisions of the Analogue Pocket. Some of them use different components, and like, for example, a core that will work on the launch Analogue Pocket may not work on a later revision. So that's a welcome addition to see. That member of the team will then move on to CPS2 GFX issue, which is another task that's easy to fix, but it's also very time consuming. So during this period, the team will continue to fix small reported issues. However, they will avoid anything that takes more than a couple of days to complete, especially if it doesn't help with the CPS3 goal for this autumn. And guys, I love CPS3. That's my most desired core. You know, I always say it. This game here, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, even though the characters that I've chosen to show in this video are the characters I hate playing against, the twins, man. Those dive kicks drive me crazy. And now, hopefully soon, they can drive me crazy on an FPGA console, such as the MiSTer, or maybe a next generation one if the MiSTer for some reason can't run this. I certainly hope the MiSTer does run CPS3, because that's where I want to see it. That's what we have. Lots of us have MiSTers, and we want more games for our MiSTers. But in the meantime, guys, JOTEGO and his team are working. They've kind of laid out their immediate kind of roadmap, and really I'm looking forward to like Golfing Greats and Run and to get completed. Not so much because I want to play them, just being completely honest here, because once they're done, JOTEGO can focus on CPS3. I do like the addition of the additional team members, and I do like the fact that lots of different problems are being tackled, and there's extra resources in for the month of August. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video and you want to keep up with FPGA gaming, then consider liking and subscribing. Be freaking awesome to one another. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.